Throughout history, the unexpected, unlikely, and unpredictable black swan event has paid a visit to markets, causing investors to panic, flood the market with sell orders, which led to cascading liquidations and bankruptcies. Some notable black swan events were Black Monday, which was a flash crash and the largest one-day drop in Dow Jones history. Then right in the middle of the dot-com bubble, we experienced the 2001 September 11th attack on the World Trade Centers. Markets continued to collapse. Our most recent black swan event happened in March 11th of 2020 when COVID gripped the world with fear. This sent the S&P 500 down 35% from its high. In terms of crypto, it's a relatively new market, but already in 2022, it experienced its own black swan events with the collapse of Terra Luna and the subsequent collapse of FTX under Sam Bankman-Fried, arguably one of the largest villains in crypto history. And as the old phrase goes, markets tend to take the staircase up and then the elevator on the way down. Heck, sometimes markets just jump straight out the window. It's what we call a black swan event. The term was first coined by Nassim Taleb in his 2007 book, The Black Swan: The Impact of the Highly Improbable. And the book focuses on the extreme impact of rare and unpredictable outlier events and the human tendency to find simplistic explanations for these events retrospectively. Well, now the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, just predicted that the crypto markets would have another black swan event, which could reshape the entire crypto landscape and where many investors will lose everything. So not only will we talk about that, but we'll also share some potential events that could cause markets to experience the next black swan event and how you can prepare for it. We'll also cover some XRP price targets if an event like this occurs, so you know exactly what to do and how to protect yourself. So let's dive into the video, and while you're at it, smash the subscribe button. Before we dive in, a quick reminder that the opinions in this video are for informational and educational purposes only and do not constitute financial, legal, or investment advice. All investments, including cryptos, carry risks and potential losses. Always do your own research and consult with a licensed financial advisor. We are not licensed financial advisors, and relying on our content for financial decisions is at your own risk. By watching this video, you agree we are not responsible for any losses or damages, and we do not guarantee any specific results or outcomes. Some of the links below may be affiliate links, and we may earn a commission, which actually helps support this channel and helps us to create value-based videos like this. We also hold some positions in the cryptocurrencies that we talk about, but that's only because we do what we believe in. However, this should not be interpreted as a recommendation for you to do the same. With that said, let's get into the video. Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Paul, and Brad Garlinghouse was recently sharing some interesting information surrounding the next black swan event, what that might look like, how it's going to come about, and most importantly, we're going to dive into a few key factors, or better yet, catalysts that could create for an event like this. But at the end of the day, black swan events are named so because they are truly unpredictable, and it's usually the stuff that you don't see coming that causes markets to panic. See, if markets expect something to happen, usually they've already prepared or priced that in. However, it's the stuff that we don't see that cause investors to sell things in the droves. So without further ado, let's listen to what Brad Garlinghouse recently shared.
FTX and Binance were the two most important, most influential, and probably SBF and CZ were the two most important players in crypto. Now you've got one definitively in jail, one, I guess, potentially headed to jail. And, you know, I bring this up in context of black swans is like, it's hard to know, but on the positive, think about the freaking resilience of this industry and market that 2 years ago, somebody who I thought I knew a lot about what's going on in crypto, I would have said these are the two most important companies. The CEOs of the two most important companies now either are in jail or I think headed there. Yeah. Unfortunately, in some ways, I mean, the CZ stuff I'm less close to, and so I don't know as many details, but look, the resilience of the market, that should give us immense optimism about what's coming. Do I think there's going to be another black swan? Of course, 100%. I just don't know exactly what it is. The only one that's going to be an interesting one to watch, and I don't even know how he calls a black swan, because I feel like Black swan by definition can't really be, it's like,
predicted.
Oh, didn't see that happening.
Yeah.
The US government is going after Tether. That is clear to me. I view Tether as a very important part of the ecosystem, and I don't know how to predict
the impact that will have.
And Brad Garlinghouse seems to have been right on the ball, because he shared that actually before the news broke that apparently US authorities are investigating USDT, the issuer of Tether. And that's according to people familiar with the matter. Tether is being investigated for possible sanctions and money laundering violations. Now, on that news, just XRP alone sold off about 9%. And that's a very large market cap to be selling off 9%. The entire crypto market sold off as well. And so yes, if Tether was no longer allowed to operate in the United States, or just generally speaking, Tether depegged, we would see $120 billion market cap crypto, which is a stablecoin and the largest or most used stablecoin in the world, virtually disappear overnight. This would harm the entire crypto market. So yes, the collapse of USDT would be terrible for all crypto markets, and that would be considered a black swan event. However, directly from the horse's lips, Paulo Ardoino, the CEO of Tether, he's basically stating that Tether is not under investigation at all. And they actually told the Wall Street Journal that there is no indication that Tether is under investigation. The Wall Street Journal is regurgitating old noise, full stop. In another statement just the other day, he said, "At Tether, we deal regularly and directly with law enforcement officials to help prevent rogue nations, terrorists, and criminals from misusing USDT. We would know if we are being investigated, as the article falsely claimed. Based on that, we can confirm that the allegations in the article are unequivocally false." So what's really true? Is Tether under investigation or is it not? Well, I can tell you this. Paulo has a lot to lose if Tether goes down. So does the entire crypto market. But at the end of the day, we've seen bad actors lie and lie and lie. And I'm not calling him a bad actor. However, if I was in his shoes, I'd be protecting my ass as well. I probably wouldn't be telling the full truth if we didn't really have the reserves that we promoted to the public. Because at the end of the day, USDT has not been forthright and forthcoming about their reserves, and they have not really done any third-party audits or any serious audits. So anything can happen, and the US government doesn't really like USDT. This does leave a lot of room open for new stablecoins to enter the market, because there's never going to be a low demand for stablecoins at this moment in time. It's only going to continue to grow over the years. And so RLUSD from Ripple really has a shot at taking a large portion of the market. Now, another one of those major events that could cause a black swan, if you will, is the collapse of trust in the US government bond, US fiat currency, and BRICS nations' desire to only hold gold, as global central banks continue piling into gold. Now, recently, gold hit some new all-time highs. Yes, there are a lot of major investors and players investing in it. It's over $18+ trillion as a market cap now. However, a lot, or the majority of that buying has actually come from central banks and BRICS nations. And the reason they're doing it is to take a step away from government debt in the US, to get away from the hegemony of the US dollar, and ultimately to have a store of value that is real. And this is where I believe things can get very positive for Bitcoin very fast. Again, a rising tide raises all ships. I tell people over and over and over again, it's not a competition between Ripple and Bitcoin. What it really comes down to is they are going to be in the same sea. And so if the sea level rises, more money flows into Bitcoin. Believe me, more money will also flow into XRP. However, central banks now hold 12.1% of the global gold reserves. This is the highest level since the 90s, and it's skyrocketed and doubled over the last decade. China, India, Turkey, and Poland have been the largest contributors to global central bank gold purchases. And so in due time, I do see more governments adopting the Bitcoin standard and really wanting to buy into Bitcoin, as the United States is the largest holder, then China. Then you have the UK, Ukraine, and various countries in the surrounding area, I'm assuming, Bhutan, El Salvador, Venezuela, Finland, and Georgia, but this is going to grow over the next decade. And I can assure you that as more governments now want to hold Bitcoin and gold over debt in fiat currencies. Now, really quickly, before we continue the video, I just want to share with you our link, bullrunners.com. You can find that in the description below or in the pinned post in the comments. Make sure it's directly from the Bull Runners. And this is if you're ready to become a crypto millionaire in 2025. This is a way for you to join our early bird list for exclusive altcoin picks, market analysis, and early access to our crypto education inner circle. The sooner you sign up and subscribe, the better, because we're only going to accept so many people into the inner circle, considering the fact that we're actually going to be answering questions or live with each of these individuals. And so we can't accept everyone. So it is a first come, first serve basis. That said, if you haven't already, go to bullrunners.com as soon as you see this. Again, the link is in the description or bio below, and you will learn how to become a crypto millionaire by 2025. All right, let's get back into the video. So already we've talked about a few of those potential catalysts that could cause a black swan, from the collapse of USDT, or even potentially the collapse or slow collapse of the US dollar as BRICS nations and other nations continue to flood into gold. And now Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, says the global order is at risk and raging conflicts could explode into World War III. Again, we've seen a lot of unrest in the Middle East and between Russia and Ukraine. And at any moment now, we could enter a new world war. And yes, markets would sell off like crazy. As Jamie Dimon says, US adversaries want to topple the world order, and the Russia-Ukraine and Israel-Hamas conflict could explode into a new world war. And truly, who knows what that would look like? All it would take is one nuke at any moment in time, anywhere in the world, for everything to change. As we have been quite clear that we can't have a bad outcome here, Dimon said. We've never had a situation where a man is threatening nuclear blackmail, adding, if that doesn't scare you, it should. However, to add to those risks, we are sitting with surging inflation in recent times, or rising interest rates, stock market volatility, and uncertainty of macroeconomic events that have led to speculation of an impending recession in the coming years. As JP Morgan, again from Jamie Dimon, research suggests that the probability of the US and the global economy entering into a recession in 2025 is now at a probability score of 45%. So with all of this talk about black swans, I don't really want you to go ahead and panic, as right now we don't know if a black swan is going to happen. He's just confirmed that one eventually will happen. But if you've already survived through a few, you might as well continue trucking along and investing in something that you truly believe in, that is going to do well over the next bull run. We still believe the bull run is here through the end of the year. 2024, 2025 might even be a good year. At some point, we might experience some unexpected volatility like we did back in this range. But at the end of the day, the price action on XRP is looking pretty good. As of recently, I did say that we had a support somewhere between 51 cents all the way up to 52 cents. You can see the long, strong wicks right here, and then a bear trap right down here. However, we might have just experienced that exact same thing right here. So this market broke down on the news of USDT and now is starting to break right back into the healthy range right here. And this might have been the local low before the market starts to trend to the upside. So that said, what we are waiting on is a break above that 64-cent range, that fabled 64-cent range. If we can break above that, I think we're flying straight up to 74 cents and then $2. But it remains to be seen. Now, if a black swan event were to happen, and currently we're sitting at about, 51 cents, a tool I like to use often is the VRVP to really tell me where the majority of volume has traded. And over the last couple of years, really since, May of 2021 into July of 2022, the majority of volume has actually traded right in this range here at about 37 to 38 cents. So I'll go ahead and toss a line right there. This would be my first major range of support. If a black swan event came, a lot of the times markets really crash and tumble quite hard. This would be about a 27% drop from today's prices. However, sometimes black swan events can be really nasty, and you might get a few major down days, or better yet, maybe a few nasty sell-offs, a bit of a retrace, and people start taking profit on that retrace, or look at that retrace as another exit opportunity where you can see some continued selling. That said, my next major range of support would be somewhere in the 30-cent range, and my lowest low in any case for a black swan event would be 20 cents, which would be about 60% down from present prices. Now, is that realistic? Probably not. I would say realistic price range right for me would be anywhere between 37 cents and all the way down to 30 cents. I think those ranges would be the ranges that I'd be willing to buy. Anything past that might be a little scary, and you'd really have to start to watch for more downside. But that would be where I would set some buy orders. Matter of fact, I do have some stinky bids. These are bids or zones in which I have X amount of dollars allocated to buy if markets ever did collapse. And so that is the way that I will be playing black swans, because while everyone is selling, you should be buying. As the old saying goes from Warren Buffett, buy when there's blood in the streets. So I don't know if one is going to happen, but if one did, I have bids all the way from 37 cents down to 30 cents. In the case of some insane, situation, maybe World War III breaks out. Yes, markets could sell off to 20 cents, but I think those would be insane lifetime buys. However, right now, I think we are actually more in a position for the market to finally rally back up to that 64-cent range and potentially break out. So in the case of a black swan, yes, we're obviously going down. I think 37 cents to even 30 cents. In the case of what I think is actually going to happen, I think we're going to start trending right back up to that 64-cent range through the end of the year. So plan and prepare as you will, my friend. And one last time, if you haven't already, head on over to bullrunners.com if you want to learn how to become a crypto millionaire this next year. Join our early bird list for exclusive altcoin picks, market analysis, and get early access to our crypto education inner circle. Again, this is on a first come first serve basis. We can't take everyone into the inner circle, so go ahead and reserve your spot right now by subscribing. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, again, be sure to subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I appreciate your time, my friend, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye.